Hi, my name is Aniket Devecha. I'm here at the 59th International Meeting for ESR Conference here at University of Essex in Colchester. What I wanted to do with you today is to give you a quick overview of our CIQTEK EPR Benchtop Spectrometer. As a rough idea, here we have it here. We are considering a footprint of roughly 50 centimeters by 40 centimeters in depth and roughly 40 centimeters in height as well. In terms of connections, actually, it makes it considerably easier because essentially there are two connections at the back of the spectrometer. One, which is the power cable, and the second is the connection to the PC and the laptop. The Benchtop Spectrometer allows you to essentially save valuable bench space, but ultimately give you fast and quality detailed data as per your research requirements. There are several other accessories supported, which is such as mercury lamp, xenon lamp, and several other accessories, liquid nitrogen tank for cooling. But if you require further information, then feel free to contact us. In terms of the sample tubes as well, several other sizes are available, such as your standard 3 or 4 millimeters. But the way we introduced our samples into the Benchtop spectrometer is, here's our sample. It's a DPPH, and CIQTEK provide us with this measuring tool. And essentially what we would seek to do is to measure it in terms of where the spectrometer needs to be. And simply, once we have that measurement, you can either make a tiny mark on the sample tube, or ultimately my personal preferred method is to keep essentially a finger at the top and to get that gauge. Once we get that, we would simply just insert it into the sample holder and simply just push it straight. Tighten it slightly and that's your sample being inserted. As you can see, close look up, this is a 4 millimeter stand holder, but ultimately other choices are available to fit your research. So the great thing about our CIQTEK EPR solutions is the software is highly intuitive and extremely easy to use. You would have this icon, which is EPR-CT 2.0 on your desktop as an icon. You'd simply double click on this, and essentially that would open up a window of the software. At this point, as you can note in the top corner, the software is offline. I will double click on this to essentially connect the software to the spectrometer. And at this point, what I would need to do is essentially activate the spectrometer. So it's a single click. It takes a few seconds to activate, and automatically, as you can see, you've now started to receive some frequency from the spectrometer. At this point, again, what we can then end up doing is, for simplicity and the purpose of this illustration, we will simply select a 1D sweep, 1D field sweep method. However, there are other options, and we can work with you to obviously develop your application. At this point, we would then press on create, which is then setting up a experiment name. And what we will do from here on is we will now enter into the tuning by simply clicking this icon and the menu bar. Once we have done this tuning, what we can then do essentially is, we know that the sample is DPPH, which is a reference sample. And essentially what we would simply do is we would enter tune, and tune type is auto tuning, and simply just hit the start button. We can always display the tuning curve to essentially, what we are now trying to do is to find the correct phase of our sample type. So simply hit start, and this would roughly take anywhere between 20 to 30 seconds. As you can see how quickly it loads up and how easy it is to use. So once we have our auto tuning complete, we can then look at the curve lines. However, if you do need to set the parameters on a manual basis, these are the cursors, so you can use these arrows either on the side to essentially adjust the curve line appropriately. Once this has been achieved, we would simply go back to operate. This means that we are now ready to run our sample, and essentially we would then close the auto-tuning window. Once we have closed this, we are now ready to achieve our spectral data, and essentially we would simply just hit the start button. And once we do that, as you can note, within a matter of a few seconds, we're now starting to achieve the spectral data within a matter of 30 seconds. Once the spectral data has been achieved, we can essentially export it into different data formats, different file. And the best way to do that, you would simply just go onto the file, drop-down menu, that leads you to export. This then gives you multiple formats such as Excel, TXT, or CSV format as well. Thank you very much for listening to me on our Benchtop EPR system. As you can see, CIQTEK Solutions offers you a highly compact, saving you valuable laboratory bench space, a budget-friendly options to reach really high resolution to match your research requirements. Furthermore, to give you a quick outline, we are not just limited to the Benchtop solutions. CIQTEK have several other product lines, such as the CW EPR product line, along with the post EPR on the floor standing options. As you can see, we can then go also to higher detection limits as well, with several accessories supported for your research, such as the dielectric resonator, the time-resolved EPR system, along with the Endor system, liquid nitrogen. Essentially, we're specialists in EPR spectroscopy market, so feel free to contact us, either myself here in the UK, which is Aniket Devecha from SciMed. Alternatively, you can also visit our partner's website, which is ciqtekglobal.com, for further information. And we look forward to working with you. Thank you.